global events.
I don't think I can do this. I think this is just too dangerous.
Our world. Stories that speak for themselves.
The Prime Minister is set to announce the next stage of lifting restrictions in England. It's expected many will remain in place after June the 21st. This is Downing Street, where Boris Johnson is due to speak any minute. We'll bring you that press conference as soon as it starts. The hopes of the hospitality industry are likely to be dashed, with many businesses warning they won't survive an extension to the restrictions. It's a race between the vaccine and the variant as the government rushes to get as many adults double jabbed as possible. June the 21st was supposed to be the day that the current form of lockdown would be lifted in England. We'll find out in a few minutes what the government has decided. Good evening and welcome to the BBC News at 6. In the next few minutes, the Prime Minister is due to speak about the next stage of easing restrictions in England. We'll bring you his announcement live from Downing Street as soon as it starts. It's thought the current rules are likely to remain in place for another 4 weeks from June the 21st. That was the day when all restrictions are due to be lifted. What's changed is the rise in cases thanks to the Delta variant that was first identified in India. And while we're waiting for the Prime Minister, let's go to Westminster now. We can speak to our political editor, Laura Koonsberg. Laura, this is a very difficult decision for the Prime Minister, balancing public safety versus the increasing clamour from business.
That's right, Fiona. It's a real dilemma, and this is a decision that the Prime Minister will have been very, very reluctant to take. You know, the roadmap, as it's known, the government's plan was always designed to lift one set of restrictions, then give it a period of time to see what happened with the disease before then lifting another set of restrictions, then having another pause to see whether or not cases started to creep up again. But since the last set of restrictions were rolled back, we all know what has happened. Cases have been starting to accelerate again quite quickly, even though the numbers are still small, with the emergence of that new Delta variant that emerged first of all in India. An increasing concern in the last couple of weeks about how the disease may be taking off again has led, we understand, to Downing Street making a decision that there will be a pause of some description, probably something around the area of 4 weeks. Of course, remember, we are in a very different situation now to those previous moments like this when the Prime Minister has come to the public with something that's going to be hard to hear. Of course, tens of millions of people have now been vaccinated. Nearly everybody who's particularly vulnerable has had the jab. But we understand what the government is expected to announce any minute now is to give more time to get the vaccine going and to protect more people. And Boris Johnson has just walked onto the podium. Let's listen in to number 10.
Thanks for joining us. When we set out on our roadmap to freedom a few months ago, we were determined to make progress that was cautious but irreversible. And step by step, thanks to the enormous efforts of the British people and